We all have guilty pleasures, right? Like, so we like to eat sweets, but then we feel bad afterwards. But sleep is an awesome way. I mean, there's no better satisfaction than just crashing after a long day at work or something, right? And there are a lot of health benefits to it, and yeah. Well, what if I told you that sleep is, even if you think sleep is just being drowsy or whatever, being a little slow, what if I told you there are more health-related benefits and concerns with sleeping and not sleeping? Like for me, for example, in high school, I only got like 2 or 3 hours of sleep every night, and I would be crashing in the middle of class all the time whenever I could. And I never got caught, but it's not good. It's not. Yeah, I messed up in high school a little. So yeah, and we're all college students here. Sometimes our priorities aren't always on sleep. So why is sleep important? Besides the obvious about, like I said, not being drowsy or whatever. In 2006, the Harvard Women's Health magazine journal thing, they said that they did a test, and people they had a better retention of memory with those that slept right after studying compared to those that just did normal activities after. In 2007, an article compiled by the National Institute of Neurological Disorder and Strokes found that during REM sleep, which is rapid eye movement sleep, it's sort of like the deepest stage of sleep when you dream, and it's when it takes the longest to get to REM sleep. During that time, it's found that the part of the brain that you use for keeping memory and learning is basically exercised for your benefits. And in another study, in the same study, it showed that it slowed down the consumption of proteins that are used for healing and growing cells, which is good for your aging, which is kind of why they call it beauty sleep. And so, but with all these benefits, some of you might not think that's worth the time to take a little bit of your extra time to sleep, but what happens when you don't sleep? So there are a lot of health issues that can happen if you don't get enough sleep. The Harvard Medical School found that studied that the body secretes a hormone responsible for glucose processing, energy metabolism, and appetite, and not getting enough sleep causes an imbalance. Like for example, Michael mentioned insulin for diabetes. Your body produces more insulin when you don't get enough sleep. And every time, even though insulin is important for your body, every time the body reacts to insulin, it becomes more and more resistant, which so the body doesn't get enough sugars and stuff. And high levels of insulin in the body are kind of related to obesity. And so yeah, also not getting enough sleep. Your body produces less leptin, which is used to tell your body when you've had enough food, and it produces more ghrelin, which sort of tells your body that you're hungrier. It basically increases your appetite, so it's not good. Even drowsy driving is pretty bad. Some people might have experienced that. Charles A. Czeisler, the director of the Division of Sleep Medicine in Harvard Medical School, said that the number of drowsy driving, fatigue-related driving, was about the same number of people combined of those in crashes related to drug and alcohol-related crashes. Scary stuff. How can you get a better night's sleep like this, knowing all this stuff? Besides the obvious of taking more time out of your sleep and maybe relaxing a little more. Some other things is use your bedroom only for sleeping. Doing other activities, get your body and yourself used to using the room only for stuff other than sleep. And you want your body to get used to sleeping in your bed as soon as possible. Like for example, if you used to watching TV in your bed, yeah, okay, sorry. And avoid nicotine, because even though nicotine might calm you down, you might experience withdrawal later on. And create a sleeping routine. And get into the rhythm of sleeping, and also it separates sleep activity time with regular activities. Like for example, you want to get into sleep as soon as possible, so you want to separate this is me sleeping versus this is me being active during the day. And so in conclusion, sleep is good for you, and not getting sleep is bad for you, just in case you didn't know. And hopefully these tips help you later on, and maybe try these out. We all just registered for classes at 6 a.m. You might have felt how bad it is not to get enough sleep that you're used to. The end.